Welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start like we do every week by reminding you to reach out to Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois. Save a life or 9. Patreon.com/Jacob V is the only way to support this show financially. There's new music, exclusive video performances, much, much more. You can get free weekly editorials from me. I started those up a couple weeks ago. It's a great way to interact with the thing. JacobV.com. Tomorrow, actually, it will have already happened by now. Well, No Antics is back. We got gigs this summer. By the time you hear this one will be over. But June 9th at the Sinkhole, Shaking the Dust Off. Blinded by Stereo just opened up for Ludacris at the Confluence Music Festival. I haven't been indoctrinated into the Illuminati yet because per Illuminati protocol, which I didn't know at the time, Ludacris stayed in the Four Seasons until about 20 minutes before his set and then took the Escalades over the MLK bridge to the stage, and very hard to get to him. I was in VIP all day. I never saw him. And T-Pain was playing the next morning.
Yeah, did you open for T-Pain also? Or
no, T-Pain played the next morning. I just played Saturday. I know.
You couldn't have even tried to get T-Pain's,
I didn't know.
Like,
I would have gone.
PR person.
I would have gone to the High Rollers room at the Horseshoe and hung out there if I had thought they were going to stay in the Four Seasons the whole time.
I would have just gone to the Four Seasons and gone to the pool.
I would have gotten a room. I could afford a room.
They probably have a Groupon for sure.
Get me a Groupon for, I want to be, just make sure I'm adjacent to the Illuminati floor. I just need the same elevators. I don't even need to be on the floor.
I'm jealous. You didn't get us VIP tickets ever. One year
you guys could have come, but you were saying you didn't want to come to that one. You wanted to come to Pitbull.
No, I didn't say that. That is not what I said. I said you needed to get us VIP tickets to your gig.
To be fair.
So then I could schmooze T-Pain.
But I couldn't find him.
Well, I could have found him.
I don't even know that he was there yet.
I am a thick white woman. I could have found T-Pain. Thank you very much.
That's true. You have a tattoo on your face.
I do.
If I was T-Pain, I'd say, can you make sure that one ends up back at the Four Seasons?
And he's friends with AJ from Backstreet Boys now. So, look, I could have opened up a lot of doors for us.
I know. But here's the thing. I didn't even know if I was going to play until right before we started playing. It stopped raining.
Was it storm? Yeah, I was going to say,
stormed.
Was that when it had the bad storms?
We were the only band that didn't get bumped, and that's because they made the two bands before us play in the rain, and then Supercar got bumped like an hour.
Supercar.
Yeah, and then we were supposed to play back-to-back with Supercar, but they got bumped like an hour. So they had a DJ play after us, and then Supercar played an hour later than they were supposed to. And then Ludacris started, but I got the word from security because VIP was a ghost town by the time Ludacris started playing. Anyone that was working that event day was only there to get a free ticket to Ludacris.
Yeah, I would have gone
because luckily I was there to watch my own luggage because I could have shot somebody in VIP once Ludacris started and nobody would have even heard it.
No.
VIP was a ghost town. I should have gone rummaged everyone's bags.
Why didn't you?
Because they had them with them.
Right.
They weren't in the suites. I was the only one using the suites. The catering people got sick of me. Oh, motherfucker. Okay. All right. We're back. So you remember last year I told you when we opened for Flo Rida?
Yes.
And we had lovely Yukon Denali, big brand new trucks to drive us around everywhere.
I did not hear that.
Yeah. And so they had like 9 of these brand new beautiful SUVs to drive us around in all day. And unlimited Diet Cokes in VIP. This is last summer.
Wow. You made it at that point.
I get there this year, baby. Not a single Denali.
You're a golf cart?
Golf carts.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram story. Yeah.
Golf carts. There was one van. It was a Ford Transit. It was the full-size passenger. You could seat like 30 people in it. That I got to take all my keyboards to the stage because I told them this is a Moog Theremin. It has to be in a climate-controlled environment. I'm not taking a Moog Theremin onto a golf cart. That's what the guy told me on the golf cart. He said, oh, yeah, I really want one of those Theremins. And I said, sir, I would really love a vehicle with AC. I'm getting out of,
look, though, but they had Ludacris and T-Pain this year.
But guess what happens next?
That's so much money.
When I get upstairs, guess what else is different?
No
Diet Pepsi.
No.
The whole event is brought to you by Pepsi.
No. That's a bummer.
Actually, just after we find out Pepsi is not even second most popular cola. Dr. Pepper just beat Pepsi for the first time in history.
Wow. Dr. Pepper's its own thing. So, like,
Yeah.
if you go to a restaurant and they have strictly Coke products or strictly Pepsi, there's a good chance they will still have
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, they're like Switzerland.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper is neutral in the
I mean, do you think that
Cola
there are
wars.
people that are like diehard Pepsi people the way Coca-Cola people are?
Yeah,
I've never met them.
a lot of them are of that generation because
Well, my grandpa's of that generation, but he worked for Coca-Cola. So he goes to a restaurant and they don't have Coca-Cola, he will order an iced tea. He will not drink Pepsi.
yeah, no, I know people that are the other way though, that
That's so weird.
they started drinking Pepsi as the intentional alternative in the late 70s or whenever that started. And Chris's dad, friend of the show, big Diet Pepsi guy. He even does the Mio. They'll sell you the Diet Pepsi syrup to put in your soda stream at home.
Oh, yeah.
He's real into that. I prefer Diet Coke. Some people say Diet Coke is still flavored like how it was supposed to taste when it had cocaine in it.
That's probably why we like it so much.
I don't think that's it.
Probably why I like it.
I think I'm
so
a
much.
dirty little piglet. I think it's a cult
I'm a
of
Coke straight up, though. Preferably vanilla Coke. I don't do the Diet Coke, but I also grew up drinking Diet Coke. Like, that's what we had in the house. So,
that's probably healthy.
yeah.
Yeah, I always tell my children not to drink diet, mostly because I don't want to share. So they can have one of them Cokes. I'm like, they're diet. You don't want it.
Right.
And
No,
they're like,
aspartame.
and I'm like, I drink diet. I'm like, but you shouldn't. You're a child of God. Get out of my face.
Yeah. But they we grew up in diet culture. So, I mean, that
Oh
makes
my
sense.
God. I grew up going to Weight Watchers meetings with my grandparents and my mom and my aunts.
Oh, we didn't do that. I just was.
I wasn't weighing in, 'cause, you know what I mean? But they would let me go to the meetings with them and then we'd go to lunch afterwards. And they would all talk about how good they had been all week. Lunch after an all family weigh in at a Weight Watchers. That was a vibe. There's never been, you can't fill an Applebee's with enough ranch to accommodate a family weigh-in, post-weigh-in lunch.
Yeah, I don't know. My family just starved themselves, so we didn't have the whole weigh-in thing. It was just like, are you sure you want to put that on that?
They had enough of the guilt and the whatnot, but that's because they were more white collar.
My parents?
Yeah.
They thought so, yeah.
Yeah, my family was more blue collar, where
Yes.
it was like however much food we can acquire, we have to get that much,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to eat it all because there's starving children down the street even.
Oh, yeah, we didn't. No.
No, whereas your thing was up front, like we can't acquire that much food that's unnecessary.
Well, it wasn't just unnecessary. It was just like, it was a lot of calorie counting, and
Yeah.
I had to lose 20 pounds to get my belly button ring at 13, which my mom will insist didn't happen, but it did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
I like that.
Incentive at 13 years old to lose 20 pounds.
You know what? Kids do really well with quantifiable incentives.
Yeah, sure.
That seems a little fucked up.
I mean, yeah.
But if we zoom out a little bit,
right?
it comes from a good place. She heard Dr. Phil say, your children need quantifiable incentives.
He's probably
And she said,
Oprah.
okay, so my piglet daughter can lose 20 pounds and she can get her belly button pierced.
Yeah.
You stank, ho.
God, like, think of it. Do you look back? I mean, you have always been bigger. And
Sure.
so have I. But I mean, like, looking back at pictures of us when we were young and the people making fun of us for being fat, like, we were not anywhere near that.
Well, it's just, they talk about this all the time with celebrities. Like there was that time Jessica Simpson had those 2 leather belts on.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, because she's so fat now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at her
Ozempic weight, it's scary. She
Yeah.
looks scary.
Yeah.
It doesn't look healthy.
But her at her fattest is most people's ideal.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
my ideal. Yeah.
I wouldn't have even put that second belt on. That belt is distracting from that
Right.
beautiful meat that God gave you, Jessica.
Yeah. It's
Let it roll out.
the 2000s or
It was
early
a crazy
2000s were a
time.
wild time.
And we were really trying to solve like body diversity, body shape diversity with accessories.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because like the whole what not to wear fad, like that show was so big, and it was like dress for your body type, and it's like, or just wear whatever
But
you want to
also
wear that makes you feel good.
How do I dress for my body type when clothes are $1 billion or they don't make them big enough for me?
Well, I think that was the issue back then, is that there wasn't enough plus size selection.
Yeah.
I recently
wanted
started
to
rewatching.
shop at Express so bad. When I was in
loved
high school,
Express.
my idea of the perfect male aesthetic was Express for
Yeah.
men in the
Mhm.
mall. But I maybe 5th grade is the last time I could have actually shopped there in store. Sometimes online you can get bigger stuff from them.
They had bigger selections for women, because like I was a size like 10, 12 in high school, and I would always buy my jeans from Express. That was like where I would get my jeans, and they fit perfectly. But I also wanted to fit the Abercrombie Hollister aesthetic like some of our other friends did.
Yeah.
And I couldn't fit in any of those clothes. None
What's
of them.
weird to me is I totally get why that aesthetic is appealing, but nothing about it really reads as sexual to me. When I see somebody who's that skinny.
Yeah, now as adults, we're like, you look like a 12-year-old. What?
Yeah.
This isn't, no.
Maybe that's what it was, because maybe it was supposed to be sexy to me then when I was a child. But then that's weird.
Well, not only sexy, but also a version of yourself that you want to be your sexy self.
Yeah.
Like you want to be them. That was the thing. Is that you can't be unless you have these.
But now, well, okay, that's the thing. If you see a 33-year-old person who's in that aesthetic now, they couldn't possibly look healthy and be that skinny.
No.
At 33.
No.
It's just not normal.
No.
But then also, isn't what's her name old? Never mind. I don't have enough of the information to go down that. I had an image in my head of somebody's old. Isn't Christy Brinkley like 79?
Oh, Christy Brinkley's up there in age for sure. Probably 60s.
I'll probably say like 63, but I'll look it up.
Yeah. I want to say she's 69.
So I just started recently rewatching My Life on the D List with Kathy Griffin.
Okay.
Because it's on Peacock.
I love 70 years old.
She's 70?
70.
Almost on the nose.
That's the old bitch I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That bitch is old.
So I started rewatching My Life on the D List because I love Kathy Griffin and I'm watching all the Bravo shows that have been unarchived on Peacock. And that was do you guys remember how she got all of those plastic surgeries to like look more aesthetically pleasing? And the first whole season is about how I think it was her first husband, Matt.
Yeah.
And
the gambler?
Was he a gambler? I know
that's
he
why they
stole
got
money from her.
But that's why. Because
okay.
He was addicted to gambling. And then they tried to reconcile on the show.
Yes. On season 2, they started to reconcile.
Yeah.
And then by season 3, she wasn't. And she was dating her assistant or like whatever, Tom, who was from Fenton, Missouri. But that was like very much on the down low. Like they did not want people to know that they were dating each other. But like all of season 1 and 2 is about her being fat and trying to lose weight. And I'm like, you are not obese.
In what world did Kathy Griffin have a heterosexual assistant?
When she was dating him, I think. No, because she had the girl assistants. She had the one with the cool
her
hair.
Entourage was all gays forever.
Yes. But he was like he kind of took Matt's position. And I don't know when they started dating, but they dated for a few years. And I'm only on season 3, so I'm not fully.
Maybe she put him on the payroll so she could keep him around.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her father just passed where I'm at in the rewatch.
Oh, God.
So
I remember that. I remember
in.
watching that episode when it aired.
Yeah.
I loved that show.
Because she was supposed to go on the Rosie O'Donnell lesbian cruise.
Yeah.
And she had to come home.
And then, wasn't this a problem that she couldn't find a home for the old episodes of the D-List for the longest time?
I think so. And so they were on Bravo, but around like 2010 maybe, Kathy and Andy, who is like the head person at Bravo, he's the face of Bravo. They had a falling out because Kathy made a comment about him offering her cocaine, which is like a very well-known thing that he does. Like he loves a twink and he loves his cocaine. But like people think that's an issue.
I'm sorry,
I'm like,
I
just
thought
let
this
him
was
be.
I don't know why that's weird. I guess because cocaine's universally illegal here.
Well, I mean, it is crack. It is a drug.
He didn't say, do you want to smoke crack? He said, you want to snort some of this, what I'm sure is pure, beautiful cocaine.
Yeah, I don't know. But like he took offense to it because he is the head. And it was like that was when Bravo really blew up, because 2009, 2008, I think is when OC
He's got
Housewives
an ownership
premiered.
stake, I think.
He does now,
because he executive produces all those shows.
Well, it's owned by Bravo and or NBC Universal now.
So he's like Mr. Bravo for them.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so brilliant. I love. But I used to love that show and her stand-up specials.
She's coming to town in October.
I don't know that I'm going to go to that because now that Trump's around. See, this is all pre-Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm not a pro.
Well, she hasn't really been talking about Trump a lot because she lost so much of her career after she did that photo shoot.
Yeah, but she's definitely going to bring it up because she's going to assume that the people that are buying tickets to
No, because I follow her on TikTok and she even like on the day he was found guilty, she was like, I'm really nervous to make this because like she was on the no-fly list. No, she was on the no-fly list. She had Secret Service investigating her. All kinds of crazy stuff after that photo shoot.
And it was clearly not a human head.
Right. But it was inappropriate and he has a child and whatever. I'm sure all of the children that he said horrible things about.
He's like 7 feet tall now. Who? He just graduated high school.
Oh, yeah, Barron.
Barron, he's 7 feet.
Looks too much like his father, though.
Handsome, though.
Yeah.
He's got enough of his mom in the face.
From the side, he looks like his dad.
But yeah, and he's doing his hair. I would wear my hair short.
Yeah.
If I was a Trump, my hair's staying short.
Yeah.
Because you just don't want the comparison.
No.
You just don't want it. I just am so excited to see what he does.
Nothing.
I hope it's nothing.
His
but
mother's
going to
keep him far. Well, I mean, like his daughter Tiffany is like
Tiffany can get it. Is that the chubby one?
That's like the youngest daughter that was like very rarely with him on the campaign trail.
Was that the outcast of all of us?
Yeah, she's the one I like.
Fuck you.
She went to law school?
Maybe.
Yeah, because he tweeted about her because she got her law degree. And then he had not usually tweeted about her, I think. Yikes. Why do they all get law degrees?
I don't know.
Joe Exotic wants Kim Kardashian to get him out of jail.
I think I just watched the Ghost Adventures episode where they did the Tiger King compound.
There's a Ghost
You
Adventure?
didn't know this?
No.
Yes.
The Ghost Adventurers went to the Tiger King compound?
Yes.
Because it's abandoned right now.
Well, Jeff was still there. Jeff and his young wife.
Child bride.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they like talked to him about it and they were like, yeah, it's totally haunted. I think I fell asleep during it because I'd already watched the Ghost Adventures previous to that.
So they're just trying to
milk.
They were just trying to milk what they could out of their poor investment in that place.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we should all watch it together.
Maybe it is haunted.
It probably is. He's murdered a lot of tigers there.
There was that one, sometimes on the internet, you'll see this of like a reel of photos from people that went exploring in like an abandoned like sea life park.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a pickled shark. And they abandoned the shark in this tank and it just had to suffocate to death in its own filth.
Yep.
And it's still there.
I think you're thinking of like a sculpture of a shark. I
No.
know what you're talking about.
No. They left the shark behind.
You're going to Google it.
We're going to Google it. What did we find out? Christy Brinkley is 70?
Yes.
God, she eats like an almond a day.
Probably.
Did you see this one? That's what she said. She says, if I get hungry, I'll have like one almond.
All right. Did she actually say that? Because I think you might be thinking of Yolanda Hadid. Because that's a Real Housewives reference. Yolanda Hadid, her two daughters, Gigi and I don't know. They're both very famous models right now. One of them actually just quit modeling and moved to a farm.
Christy Brinkley is 70? No, who's the one that was on? I'm thinking of Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa?
Kelly Ripa eats an almond.
That makes sense.
Kelly Ripa eats an almond.
Just text me.
About what?
I don't need that in my life right now.
Yeah, Kelly Ripa eats almonds. Christy Brinkley is 70.
Almonds are just so chalky. I mean, they're not bad.
I prefer a cashew.
Yeah.
All day.
Double dipped chocolate cashews.
Oh, those are so crazy. What are people doing?
I don't know.
And I could probably be satiated on just one of those.
No, you couldn't. We've demolished an entire bag
before. But I'm saying if I was really living on the edge. So did you see?
Are you going to introduce me at all, or are people just guessing who's on the pod?
People know.
They just know my voice now?
I would have dropped your thing because you're a longtime friend of the show.
Yes.
At Sheer Hair on Instagram. Yes. The official stylist of my entire family.
It's true.
And Emma Sheer, ladies and gentlemen. I'll insert some applause.
Me.
And we'll do it in post. That's my favorite thing to do now is things in post. I could put fire. I won't, but I could. Maybe I could. I've been working on it.
Yeah. Your editing skills?
Yeah. And I've figured out how to not immediately fill up my hard drive once I dump it. I was just doing this thing where I would just like a session in Final Cut would be like 900 gigabytes on my hard drive. I'm like, why is that an option? In what way is that sustainable? So we're shooting in 4K 25 today. We'll see if that helps.
Hopefully.
4K 60 is wildly unnecessary unless we were going to do a lot of this. But we could do karate fighting.
I don't think you move that quickly ever.
No, I'm worn out. Actually,
you got a little out of breath.
I got a little winded just because my blood is thick.
I'm no one to talk. I'm very wildly out of shape right now.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Because I think starving myself luxuriously would be better than, I had a salad for lunch today, the beet salad. Ugh. I love a beet salad.
Ugh, I can't do beets. Can't do beets.
I love a group of men who are hunched over a mountain of chicken wings looking at me while I'm saying, can I get the beet salad?
Were you at Bluewood? Where are you at?
I was at Helen's to see my father. That's where you go to see the man. Because he eats there like 5 days a week.
I used to do the hair of the owner of Helen's. Mama Seiberg. I used to do her hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The one...
Because I worked with Brett's ex-girlfriend she's his ex-girlfriend now. They were together then. So
I want to have
him
on the show.
I'm friends with him on Facebook. Do you want me to
See,
ask?
I had met him once. I had lunch with him one time because he was talking to my dad because he knows him. He did something for him or something. And he is actually a very charismatic dude. I think he'd be
very
really good.
nice.
I think he'd be very good on microphone.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same guy, right? He's a
Short
shorter
guy,
guy.
yes.
Yeah. Very.
Well, they're multiple brothers.
Yeah, but very outgoing. And he had like one of the first HD TVs in all of St. Louis.
Probably.
It was like a big deal. Like he would like stay up late at night watching like the only things that had been shot in HD at that point. This would have been like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Was were like nature documentaries and shit. And so and he was telling my dad all this. I'm just like, this is great. I didn't have a podcast then because I was a child. I should have started this podcast at 12.
You should have.
We should have started this podcast on September 12th, 2001.
Yes. Evan Peters goes to Helen Fitzgerald's almost every year for New Year's Eve. Fun fact. So if you ever want to meet Evan Peters,
Why do I know who that
Helen.
is?
He is a huge actor from Baldwin. He was on American Horror Story. What else?
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We almost did that one time. Didn't you tell me that this New Year's? You were like, well, we could go see what's his name at Helen's.
I don't think it was this New Year's. We were in Kirkwood this year for New Year's, but we did not. I'm sure I bring it up every year and make a joke about it.
That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
You know who else is from here?
A lot of people.
Scandavol.
Andy Cohen also.
Scandavol.
You want to talk to me about Scandavol because a lot of new things just dropped.
Listen, we've never talked about it on the show because none of my guests have ever cared. So can we take a minute and talk about just the whole thing? Because there's so much. So my perspective is from the outside. I obviously joined late. Tom Sandoval is a guy who was a fucking 39-year-old bartender on a show, and then
you're doing this wrong.
And then
it's already annoying me. Again, I'm a Bravo fan from back in the day.
I know. I was too. That's like what me and my mom used to watch together.
Vanderpump Rules is the television show, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
VPR is what us OGs call it.
Vipper.
It is a spin-off of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Correct.
So it came about because Lisa Vanderpump owns all of these restaurants in LA. Sir, she said she had Villa Blanca and Sir, and then she ended up opening Pump. So Villa Blanca, she says, is where you took your wife, and Sir is where you took your mistress. It's called Sexy Unique Restaurant. Also owned by a man named Guillermo, who I met when I went out there in LA and could not have been a nicer man. Like, I don't really like meeting celebrities because they're just people, right? Like,
I really don't like men.
No, I have to. No, but I mean, like people go there now because of the show.
Right.
And when I was there, it's a funny story. Actually, we went and I was with my aunts who live out in LA, and we were going there. And my Aunt Judy was like, "Wait a second, Lori and I came here for drinks before we went to dinner on our very first date ever." So like full circle moment for me right there. And then I was like, "Oh my God, that's Guillermo. Oh my God, that's Guillermo. That's one of the owners." And I was like trying to be cool because again, like celebrities are people too, right? Like I don't want to run up to me like, "Oh my God." But so my aunt went up to him and talked, and she was like, "My niece is a huge fan of the show, blah, blah, blah." And he could not have been nicer. He was so gracious. He like gave me a hug. He was like, "Please come back. We start filming in a few weeks." And I was like, "No, I know that's like kind of why I'm here because my birthday is May 24th. Usually that falls on Memorial Day weekend and they start filming around them, if not right at the beginning of June. That's their usual filming schedule." And I was like, so I was kind of hoping that maybe they'd be doing some early stuff, whatever. But very nice. Took a picture with him. Anyway, so season 2, I believe, Tom Sandoval, who is from St. Louis, he is a bartender there, starts dating a girl named Ariana, who's a friend in the group. She's a friend of one of the other cast members. She joined. She's actually like in the background in season 1. And it was a whole thing because he was cheating on his girlfriend with her, but there's like question if they really did cheat or if it was just a kiss or if it was emotional. Anyway, they're together. Ariana's great. She's wonderful. She's a human. She believes in therapy. She's kind of laid back, chill. They were together for almost 10 years. She was always very open. She didn't want to get married, didn't want to have kids.
And the show's been on this whole time?
Yes.
And she could have kids, she just didn't want to.
Yeah, she just like the idea of it was like meh, which I get. Like I want to be a
playing
mom.
telephone with people on TikTok trying to catch up on this stuff is really hard.
Oh God, no.
There are some people that just assume if you're not having children, it's because you can't.
Yeah, no. And I mean, like, like the idea of being pregnant terrifies me and birthing a child. Like it's all very scary. So Tom and Ariana are together. Then we have James Kennedy, who also dated Kristen. James Kennedy is dating a girl named Raquel. We'll call her Raquel in past tense. Her name is actually Rachel. That's important later in the story.
Mm-hmm. It all comes out.
So James and Raquel are together. Sandoval helps pay for James to put on this big production called Rachella to recreate Coachella so he can propose. or I think by the reunion or something, maybe the next season, they announced that they called off the engagement. They broke up. They're done. There's speculation that James Kennedy maybe is an abusive person. He's also an alcoholic, so his sobriety goes on and off during the show. So then we have, our next seasons or whatever. Tom and Ariana buy a house together. Tom Sandoval has now opened up
But
the
they're
bar.
not married.
No. Tom
But they
Sandoval,
buy a house in Los Angeles?
Well, she just didn't want to get married. I mean, I know people like that.
They bought a house where?
In the Valley. So outside of LA. Yes. It's like a suburb of LA. Which is
San
also
Fernando.
There's a spinoff called The Valley now. A spinoff of Vanderpump Rules. Just a spinoff of BB. Anyway. You don't care.
No, I do. I do.
So Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz,
Yes.
best friends on the show, the Toms, they open up. They have a 5% partnership in TomTom with Lisa
James
Vanderpump.
the Englishman?
Yes.
You know how I can't.
The white James or the white Kanye West is what he calls himself.
That's weird.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
Yeah.
So Tom Schwartz.
That didn't age well.
No. Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval have a 5% ownership in TomTom with Lisa Vanderpump. It's another one of her restaurants. That was for them to dip their toe in.
Isn't it just a cocktail bar?
No, they have food.
Oh.
It's actually apparently one of the better restaurants out of all of them.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So then Tom and Schwartz and Sandoval decide to open up their own restaurant all on their own without Lisa's help because blah, 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 to men children. And so they're doing that. Tom Schwartz's marriage falls apart in the process of this. Tom Sandoval is using the restaurant as an excuse to always be gone and everything. And he wants to party and live that LA lifestyle. And Ariana's like, dude, I'm pushing 40. I want to have nights at home and hang out together. So there have been underlying issues in their relationship, but they kind of try to keep that off camera. I would want to do that. I would want to keep a lot of my big issues off camera or hey, let's talk about this off camera and we can figure out a way to not even spin it, but just not make it so heat of the moment. Cause everybody says terrible things in the heat of the moment sometimes.
Yeah.
So Tom and Katie's relationship falls apart. Tom Sandoval and Ariana are together. They're filming season 9. Raquel is single now and she's everybody's kind of rooting for her because she's coming to her own and she's speaking up more and she's kind of being free because she was always known as the Bambi-eyed bitch, nickname given to her by Lala. So then March 3rd, 2023 happens. Ellie was in town that weekend or coming in town, I believe. And I will never forget. I looked at my phone.
I love how we weave it into our own lives.
Yeah. That's how it's one of those. I will never forget where I was on March 3rd, 2023.
I was just having this conversation with my mother about Princess Diana.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that.
So I look at my phone and I said, oh my God, are you kidding me? And I was like, Ellie, what the hell is going on? I'm texting all of my OG Bravo friends. Because it was hard in the beginning for anyone to understand that wasn't an OG watcher, right? Because there's so many things. I'm giving a very, very watered down version of all of this.
Thank God.
It comes out that Tom and Ariana are breaking up. And everybody's shocked because, again, they were life partners. They were planning, she was freezing eggs to have him, turn into embryos so that if he did want a kid down the line, they could get a surrogate and all of that kind of thing. And then it comes out that he had been having an affair with Raquel, the one whose engagement he paid for, a 9-month-long affair. Now, there's a lot of speculation that there was some emotional cheating happening far before that, because if anything, Bravo fans will find it out.
Yeah,
we will comb through old episodes. So they had been having an affair. Now, they are done filming. Filming's wrapped. They are 2 weeks out from the reunion for season 9. So all of this stuff happens. Actually, the next night it came out, the night it happened, Raquel and another one of their castmates, Sheena, were on Watch What Happens Live, which is an after show for the Bravo shows. A lot of very meta stuff happens in there and more of the drama. And so they're at one of Tom Sandoval's shows for his karaoke band. Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. Don't ever go to their show, even if it's free.
It's awful.
Yeah. So his phone fell out of his pocket. Someone gave it to Ariana. She said something in her, just her woman instincts, said to go through it. So she went to the bathroom, went through his phone, and she found a FaceTime screen recording of Tom and Ariana having basically FaceTime sex. Could you imagine finding that on your partner's phone of 9 years? Now, there was speculation that he had cheated before, but look, nobody's a perfect victim, and you can't judge somebody on taking somebody back if they cheated, because that's their choice. That's what they want to do. Maybe it was a one-time thing. Who knows? And also, they started dating in their early 30s. They're now pushing their 40s.
Yeah.
a lot changes in that time. They're not 20-year-olds screwing around in the service industry anymore.
Right.
They're adults with adult responsibilities. So she loses her shit. She texts Sheena. She sent the video. Ariana sends the video of Raquel diddling herself to Raquel and says, "You're dead to me." Like, she just took a screenshot on her, like sent it to her phone from Tom's phone, right? So now there's a lawsuit. Raquel is suing Tom and Ariana, civil court, not criminal court, but for distribution of revenge porn because she thought that Ariana sent it out to everybody.
Right. And she may not have even known he recorded it.
She did not. She had no idea that he recorded that FaceTime call. So that's a violation of privacy in its own.
You could record a FaceTime call.
Oh, yeah. Normally it should tell you, though, which is, that's why I'm confused.
Which is, you know what I mean? But she's not the smartest either.
No. So Sheena finds out from Ariana. They're in New York. Ariana and Tom are in LA. So completely across the country from each other. Sheena loses her mind. And she allegedly hits Raquel. Hits her in the face. She had a cut on her eyebrow. Now look, I am not condoning violence.
No.
However.
Who would condone?
However,
though.
If I found out that you were fucking around on Keenan and I was with the girl that you were fucking around on Keenan with, there's a chance I would pop her in the face.
In what reality is it a woman?
LOL.
What?
Okay, just for situational here. I'm just saying.
Regardless of gender, Emma's gonna fucking pop off on somebody.
Right. I'm probably gonna lose my shit on
She's
somebody.
an equal opportunity.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
I've never
Enforcer
fought
of justice.
I've never fought a woman before. That's not really my forte. I try to be a girl's girl. I've never fought a woman physically.
Really?
Only men.
Oh, I don't know.
How is that surprising to you?
I don't know if that's better or worse.
No, because you were there the one night that a girl did try to fight me.
Yeah.
At
You
the
didn't
fireplace
fight her?
in Valley Park.
Nah, you'd have fucked her up if you fought
Yeah,
her.
I know, because the bartender fucking broke it up. Because I had my wits about me.
Which is, it's probably for the best, though, because the police probably can't even find that place.
No.
That's how that place stays open.
So back to Tom and Ariana.
Okay, good.
So there's an alleged hit. There's an Uber ride. Now we all want to know who that Uber driver was because, man, could he sell a story. So the news breaks 3 days later. Ariana calls production. Mind you, they're in post-production. They're getting ready for the reunion. They're kind of wrapping stuff up. So if Ariana had not called production to tell them about this, we would not have ever known about it because Sandoval's a narcissist and would have covered up. So the internet's ablaze all weekend. Bravo fans. It is one of the biggest stories. It skyrocketed their ratings. Got Bravo nominated for an Emmy.
Did they end up
time.
doing like 3 reunions?
They always do. Reunions are 3-parters usually.
Oh, really?
It's an all-day event. So they get there at like 8 a.m. Well, earlier than that for hair
makeup. Didn't they do like a follow-up because all this shit happened after
They did do a side interview. So the reunion comes. Sheena and Raquel cannot be on stage together because Raquel decided to file a restraining order.
Right, I remember that.
Against Sheena, who's a mother. She's a mother. But then she wanted to drop it. I don't know. She said her parents made her, whatever. You're 30 years old, make your own decisions. So they do the reunion. They're still lying because they said they only slept together one time. It was a 7 to 9 month long affair. When Ariana's dog died, that was right.
Right.
That was like the first time that Sandoval and Raquel slept together, allegedly, at their home in Raquel's car outside of him and Ariana's home.
Cool.
And then they were filming the next day, and
Yes.
Raquel brought flowers to Ariana.
Right.
After she just fucked her boyfriend. And then
Well,
it
she felt
happened
bad.
again in their home when Ariana was out of town in Florida at her grandmother's funeral. They slept together in the home. The amount of diabolical behavior from Tom Sandoval, because we're going to blame Tom. We're not blaming, Raquel's a ditzy bitch for doing that, and she shouldn't have done that, and you should know better. But now she does. You know what I mean? Like, don't sleep with somebody's boyfriend, husband, anything. So the reunion comes. It's wonderful. Ariana goes the fuck off. But now they're done filming the reunion late March. They pick up camera in June, early June. So all of season 10 is only a few months out from this giant affair. Ariana wants the house sold. She wants it gone. She doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. He wants to keep the house. What he doesn't understand is that he was on 2020 interest rates. So if he were to refi the house, he also put I don't know what it is exactly, but basically like took out a loan on the house to help open up his restaurant that of course started failing after everyone found out he's a disgusting piece of shit.
Right.
So he would have to refi, and I think they talked this season about him and like with the refi and the other loan on the house, his payment on the house would be $20,000 a month.
That makes sense.
To get her off of it. But now they had to take it to court, and she's trying to get a judge to force the sale because he refuses to get out. Now, currently, there are plenty of TikToks on the whole drama of it. There's a lot of meta stuff that happened too. So it's very like, you kind of have to be chronically online to know the really ins and outs of it. Casual viewers don't understand. Season 10, there was this attempted Scandavol redemption arc. Ariana Grey rocked the fuck out of him, as she should. We see her trying to deal with the loss of a 10-year partnership that she thought she had. I mean, as somebody who has been cheated on and just betrayed in that deep of a sense, it kind of makes you be like, so what in the last X amount of years of my life has been real? You know, it really, it's a form of abuse.
Yeah.
Cheating is a form of abuse, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know.
Right.
So she's going through all of that while still having to film a show with him. She's also booked Dancing with the Stars. She killed it. She booked Chicago on Broadway. They had the highest numbers they've ever seen in that time of year. The shows were sold out almost every single week. They extended her stay, and she's also going back this fall to do it again. She's currently hosting Love Island in Fiji. So she's like skyrocketed in her career. I mean, really, like everybody kind of rallied behind her. But still, like, yeah, things can be going great, but you're still going through this emotional trauma. And then on the show, she kind of realizes that her friends who were supposed to be her friends and have her back weren't about halfway through the season, because allegedly production sat them all down and said, if you don't start filming together, like the show's going to get canceled. We're done. Which, like, okay, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be loyal to my friend, but that's not how it went.
Yeah.
So the reunion comes, they're teasing this whole thing, the finale shows, and at the end of the finale, Tom tries to talk to Ariana and have his Miami moment, which is where he hysterically cried and apologized to his ex-girlfriend, Kristen.
Right.
For forgiveness.
Right.
And her whole thing was, she walked away, she talked to producers, they broke the fourth wall, and she said it's not real. Because if it was real, he wouldn't do it on camera. He would leave a note in the kitchen. He would have said something to me immediately in person. We live in the same house. We could have set up a time for him to actually genuinely apologize. Because if you mean it, you're not going to do it on camera alone. You're going to do it in real life. And he never did. He still hasn't to this day. Never apologized for cheating on her, having the affair, anything. And he did get that moment with her at the end of season 10 or season 9 when they picked up cameras again to film the fallout. You know, they had a conversation. She said, what do you have to say to me before we never speak again? Period. So she leaves, and then they start filming him talking shit about her and doing the whole narcissist thing where, see, she's terrible. She talks bad about all you. She's not really your friend. And she goes on with her new boyfriend who's hot as hell and wonderful and doesn't want to be in the spotlight, and all of her very good friends. They go to Applebee's, and then they cut, and you see just kind of like B-roll film going, and it's picked up audio, and it's Tom... or I think it was Tom Schwartz saying, oh, that, took a turn or whatever. And Tom Sandoval starts cackling and maniacally says, yeah, but it was great for me. So basically he got caught being a piece of shit on film, but didn't know it. So they saved that last 5 to 10 minutes to show them all together at the reunion so everybody could see exactly what was being said behind their back and or who these people are.
Didn't he go to Pattonville?
I don't know, something like that.
I could have predicted all of this. This is why we ask you where you went to high school, folks.
That's true.
Because I could have said that man went to Pattonville. I would not buy a house with that
his
gentleman.
mom's a firefighter.
Ariana should ask me.
And
locally, still.
I don't know if she still is.
Because she'd be 79.
Terry Green is her name. She is a firefighter, and I wonder if she knows. My grandpa, because my grandpa knows a ton of people.
You want to go down a rabbit hole of some other local psychopathy happening?
Sure.
My
brother-in-law went to high school with Scandavol.
I ended up blocking that guy.
What guy?
The guy who I got a missed phone call from every day of my life for the last 4 years.
The one that your wife told you to stop having around?
Right,
yeah.
right.
Okay.
And so he doesn't understand the complexities of Google Drive. And so everyone that he's ever worked with and fired or gotten a restraining order from or whatever before me has ended up putting stuff on a Western Digital Passport hard drive for him. So he's got a stack of like 3 of them. Old video
What does that
files,
mean?
some audio files. They're external hard drives.
Oh,
like
gotcha,
you can
gotcha,
put
gotcha. Okay.
pictures on and shit. And so everything I've ever done for him lives in a Google Drive
Mhm.
that he can never seem to get anything out of. And so to keep his
Hazelwood West is where Tom.
Oh, he went to
Scandavol.
Hazelwood?
Yeah.
Oh, that poor
He
baby.
also was a wrestler and in theater, so that makes sense.
Can I say he's the victim here? If
I
if
will
Tom
literally
Sandoval
murder you.
if I'm saying hurt people, and if you went to Hazelwood West in the late 80s or the early 90s, I don't think you can expect to be doing much
Well, it
better
wasn't
than
the
Tom
early
Sandoval.
90s. It was the it was late 90s, early 2000s because he's 40. He's about to be 42 in like a week.
How long ago was 2000? Jesus Christ, Emma, we're old.
We've been friends for almost 20 years. Next year's our
Emma.
20th
Oh.
friend anniversary.
So anyway, part of what I had to do today is I sent a good friend of mine to go drop off this hard drive because I had to be here, right?
Mhm.
And he thought it was my wife. Like my wife would ever deliver a hard drive to House Springs, Missouri.
House Springs?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done it either.
I didn't do it. I didn't even.
So is
do
that
it.
the last interaction you have to have with him then?
Well, but that's the thing. All I had to do was download everything off of the Google Drive that he already has access to and put it on one of these hard drives that matches his for him to have closure, I guess. He feels like I'm gatekeep, even though multiple times I've explained everything you need is already in the Google Drive.
But do you expect him to be?
No, I
Okay.
mean, he's unwell.
Yeah.
And, you know,
You got to meet people where they're at sometimes, Jake.
I don't know. And
That's how I handle a lot
but
of people.
you
in my
can
life.
see through his roof. But his whole career is safe on 4 little hard drives that he keeps in his desk.
Like you can see through it. Like there's a sunlight.
Yeah,
Or
and the trees.
or like there's like a hole in the roof.
It's like the boards are separating.
So like dilapidated, not
It's
like
like-
the structural design.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's not. It can't be legal. And I just thank God every day. You know what I mean?
that you made
for-
boundaries?
Yeah, for whatever.
That
for-
your wife forced you to enforce boundaries.
Well, my God. People are so unreasonable.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say I'm very proud of you, Jake. And
It's
I've
not
said this
easy.
recently that it might take you a while to get there, but you definitely have grown and you definitely are starting to do more of the right thing when it's the right thing to do and not because you're bullied into doing the right thing.
That's I just expected there to be less awful people. It's like people.
Oh my God, same.
People that actually people
so
that
the opposite though.
I had no idea that when people are excited to get something done and they really have something they need your help with, that it's not. That's not the whole story. The whole story may also be that they're a bipolar narcissist and they've scared off everybody else in town and they have no understanding or respect for the things they need done. So they just assume you can do all of them for $7.50 an hour.
Yeah, it was like me trying to find puppies for my mom, the guy who's my mom's dog knocked up. Somehow that all became on me to find homes for all 13 of the puppies.
Well, you know what Bob Barker would say.
I have no relation to these people.
Yeah, whose puppies are these?
they're
I'm not.
they're technically nieces and nephews, but like I don't. They're not my
You're the one with the
responsibility.
farm. Why don't you take
Shit.
these puppies?
Right.
How
No.
many puppies could they have?
They have 3 dogs right now because they got another puppy.
But legally in their municipality.
oh, I have no idea what St. Genevieve's pet limit is.
What is St. Genevieve's pet limit?
On it.
Yeah, so Lucius, can we get a look up on that? Because my
Lu-
mom also has 3 purebred goats.
Ooh, Keenan loves goats. We had a goat in Dogtown that would sometimes
We can
appear in
go
our
to the
yard.
farm whenever you guys want to.
Do they have those scary, demonic-looking goats?
I don't know. It's a joke that they're purebred goats because I think that the guy who sold them to them just said that so they could charge them extra money.
But purebred of what? How many
I don't
different
know.
goats could they be?
I have no idea.
Are other goats not 100% goat?
I don't know these things. I think that somebody just said, "Oh, look at these city people moving in the country. I think we can charge them an extra $1,000 if we tell them that they're all
If
purebred."
we tell them they're pure goats.
Yeah.
Brother, this is not anything but goat right
They
here.
have like I think 6
Okay.
maybe 6 to 10 cats on property now. Because they have barn cats and then they have the cats inside. There are 4 cats inside, right? Yeah.
Jesus.
4 inside cats, multiple outside cats. Then they have the 3 dogs. They just got Lolly, the now 7-month-old Great Pyrenees, so that they can breed her and Roy.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe in that. breeding.
My
animals
parents' dog
intentionally.
Roy is.
He's got papers.
He's got papers, but the breeder, I think his half sibling or something like that, Hillary Swank owns. So Hillary Swank bought her Great Pyr from the same breeder as my parents did. Good question.
That's a funny thing. You know what I still have is a copy of $1 Million Baby on DVD from the Shop and Save video rental spot because they closed it while we had it.
Yep. Has she been in anything recently?
Who gives a fuck? That movie was a masterpiece.
Oh yeah, I did see that because she fell in. That. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, she's fine. She's probably fine.
Yeah, who knows
Christ
what the animal limit is out in St. Genevieve?
Yeah, it's not immediately clear, but
it's not immediately. That means it's higher than it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, in Curryville, there's no permits for building shit.
Really?
Like as far out as you go. I mean, Curryville's obviously a lot smaller than St. Genevieve, but I mean,
it's not going to be much more heavily regulated as you move
that's
south.
why I don't.
Well, and my parents are like out. They have property, so they're not like they're not in
We're
St. John
talking
proper.
acreage, bitch.
Yeah,
I think they have like 9 acres or something.
Yeah,
like that.
that's like Curryville. Yeah,
Yeah.
So you could just erect a building
But
on
there
your
was
on your
drama.
on your property.
Yeah.
Well, you can't even see your shit from the road.
You can now.
Oh, now they've see that's how they get you. Next thing you know, you're gonna have a Whole Foods
No,
out
but
there.
I've actually had to deal with like tax commissioners. They drive up and check out the area. And
Well, do you know like your property lines and everything? Because there's drama in St. Gen with property lines right now. Let me tell you.
Really, is it popping off?
And fence building.
And fence building?
So my parents have their dogs. They're Great Pyrs. They're outside all the time because they guard the purebred goats.
The white ones.
Yeah. So my parents don't have a fenced-in yard or recall on their dogs. They'd never owned dogs before, but that's fine. But everybody kind of lets their dogs wander, right? That's how Roy got another dog pregnant 1.5 miles away because everybody kind of lets their dogs.
That's a hike.
He was destined to have. He loved that dog. So there was some dispute over letting dogs roam. Tempers were raised. My dad was calm, cool, and collected, shockingly. And was just like, okay, we'll put up a fence then. Like, if it's going to be a problem, then that's a solution. So they put the stakes in, they're building stuff. They get all their whatever going, and some people were driving up onto their driveway, onto like the paved part of their driveway. It's like a long gravel road up until their driveway. And my parents are like, what is this? Who are you? They've never seen these people before. And some guy gets out and basically is like, well, your fence is on my property. And my dad was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, well, it's on my property. And the people who lived here before, they dug up the stakes, blah, blah, blah. And all he had was some kind of like property records from 1993 that were outdated because the gravel road hadn't been put in there yet. And it's a ditch on a side of a road that they maintain, the property owners before them have maintained. So it's like a whole thing. But he basically, the guy is mad because
he wants that
people
ditch.
People are trying to steal his property. And it's like, okay.
With a fence?
Yeah.
See, this is
a ditch on the side of a road, and he got all Yellowstone about it.
I wonder what else he's up to.
I don't know, but I mean, I just wonder what kind of privileged life you have to have.
That's the word that we're coming to naturally.
Be concerned over a ditch on a property line on a property that you haven't maintained in over 20 years. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. What do you have going on? What in your life makes things so good? Oh. Bless you.
Sorry.
I wish I could get mad over stuff like that.
I wish I had time to be at home enough to even say, hey, are you building a fence next to my ditch?
To be home enough.
Oh my God.
But that's a whole other situation.
Listen, I got money out here on the streets. You know what I mean? I got to be out here.
Sure. In untreated ADD or ADHD.
I'll karate chop you.
I'm just saying.
I know we're not shooting.
We've been friends for 20 years. I can say these things.
But what does it all mean?
That you need therapy.
That's why we're doing this.
You should probably make time, for therapy.
Well, I got fired by my last therapist because my debit card bounced.
Okay, so find a new therapist.
It's common to go through therapists.
Yeah.
I've gone through
also, you
many.
shouldn't see the same therapist for that long.
Is this
time.
an intervention?
It is. Lucius, back me up here.
Oh, I'm backing up 100%.
Thank you.
What are you eating?
Where's Tim? Let's
eating
call
a
Tim.
peanut butter cracker.
Oh,
we need to get Tim and Keenan on FaceTime.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be so good.
We just love you and want you to be okay.
I feel great. I'm thriving. I'm hydrated. I'm in my element.
You look a little sweaty.
I'm good. It's actually it's very temperate in here. we were joking earlier about it being too hot, but we got some fans going.
Oh, it feels good.
I must have been wet
Awesome.
at one point because it is having a desirable cooling effect. But I'm kind of like a pot sticker. You know what I mean? I'm always a little damp.
Yeah.
A little sticky.
I like to be,
A little hard on the bottom, a little sticky all over.
hard on the bottom.
Yeah.
Whose bottom is hard?
Probably yours.
What does that mean?
I'm gonna get you guys a bidet for Christmas.
I don't.
How do you not have a bidet?
I fucking love bidet. He does the wet wipes.
Well, and me too. But a bidet is like
Game
You're clean.
changing.
I've never had to rewipe.
Yeah.
With a bidet,
And it gives
There's
you
no
an excuse
rewiping.
to scroll through an extra couple of TikToks, you know?
especially if you're damp, like a little pot sticker. Like I love
Yes.
a refreshing ass. Like instead of like people go and wash their face whenever they're hot, I go wash my ass.
Why didn't America adopt that concept?
We invented it.
No, we
What?
didn't.
The washlet.
Oh no,
bidet.
I think we're talking about bidets
Oh.
now.
You,
right?
you have a standalone bidet?
Oh no.
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 You have.
You get one
We
that's
don't-
attached.
America
Right.
doesn't have the infrastructure.
Yeah.
We invented that. Though.
Well, because the
We-
native people had to teach us to wash our ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Europeans must have been filthy.
I
Stankin' like
I
shit.
don't know what I was watching. Probably some dumbass
I worry
documentary
about this.
on like, back in like the times when like royal families were really a thing, right? So like Bridgerton era type stuff. They used to just shit in the hallway.
What?
I'm not kidding you.
Blow my nose.
Yeah. They used to shit in the hallway. You
Like
just take a
common
dump in
practice.
the corner. Yeah. White people are disgusting.
Is that when they were using like those pots that you kept under the bed, sort of thing?
Probably like a bedpan.
Well, I mean, but it like I don't know. I don't know if it was used like a bedpan, or if you just took a shit like off the side of your bed, and then you just
Yeah.
put it underneath your bed. Like
Yeah. But like if you were having like a big party or something, people would just like, oh, I got to
Oh,
poop
that's
and go
true,
into
too,
another
like,
hallway
oh,
and just like poop in the hall.
gross.
And
I would love to see like South Park or something like animate that, just so I can like see what it would.
I
look
want to see that in like a real historical like
Yeah.
docuseries. Like it's
Drunk
like
history,
Bridgerton,
yeah.
but they're shitting in hallways.
Yes,
That's what I wanna
absolute-
see.
Yeah, it's
Did
got to
they
be
poop in the
period.
halls
If it's
at
going to be period,
Versailles?
it's got to be
Yeah.
the whole
I mean-
100%.
Because they don't. Sometimes you see somebody like an old lady dumping a slop bucket out a window,
Yeah,
but you don't ever see the normal looking people that filled that bucket with slop.
yeah.
Okay, so this is actually a real story about Versailles.
Here we go.
And
Yes,
Louis
yes.
the Sixth, I think it says 1638 to 1715. So that's like what they were doing. They didn't really have like toilet practices or standards or anything like that. They just pop squat in the hallway.
What were?
And think about what they were eating at that time too. Like,
Well, I don't understand eating beans at breakfast.
I don't understand not sweet breakfast foods. Like a savory breakfast. I mean, it's like a breakfast sandwich, but even then, I'm probably dipping it in maple syrup.
Well, Up Late does the breakfast sandwiches and they put their jelly on it.
I do that with Quick Trip sandwiches.
It's like a bacon, egg, and cheese with jelly.
Yeah, I do that with my Quick Trip.
Really? Have you been to Up Late?
No, what is this?
I've never been
Up
there
Late,
either.
they're open from like 8 p.m. to like 4 a.m. And there's one in the Loop and there's one right here at Vandeventer. And we're next
You know,
to
somebody was just talking about this on
probably
Wednesday.
me.
It was actually my friend Maddie, or my
I go all the
Kayla's
time
new friend
because you can
Maddie, yeah.
get a bacon, egg, and cheese and a strange donut and a cannabis seltzer, and it's all like $20. And you pick it
Oh
up.
shit! Is that where the old World's Fair?
Yeah, World's Fair Donuts.
Yeah.
Did World's Fair close?
Or it's still
It's
there.
like next to it
It's
because
next
they
to it.
operate at night and
Got,
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a shared space, like a ghost kitchen.
it's like a
like Tacos de la Jefa.
it's just a window,
Mhm.
but it's
That's so cool.
Speaking of bakeries, shout out to Damn Fine Hand Pies is now open at 4000 Shaw Avenue. They used to have a booth in Tower Grove Market. It is my friend Maddie. She's a
4,000. That's got to be
wonderful-
right by here.
It is. It's very close.
Oh,
Last week was their opening weekend. They were sold out by the time they were getting ready to close, and there was an hour wait from 8 a.m. when doors opened all the way to close. So if we could keep that going,
Wow,
support
congrats,
local.
Maddie.
Yes.
hand pies.
Damn Fine Hand Pies. So they have donuts. The donut I had, because they were sold out of a lot, and I was in a time crunch because I was like, I'm just like
But you
pop
wanna
into
be
my friend's
supportive. Yeah, you
bakery
wanna be
and like
supportive.
try
I'll
something.
get
And I got there
anything.
and I was like, oh God, there's an hour wait. But luckily, her boyfriend is an old friend of mine, and so we
Yeah.
got to stand outside and catch up. And I had her apple fritter. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an apple fritter made with a browned butter
Oh,
Glaze
I love a brown
that I
butter.
believe has vanilla bean in it.
My God.
I took a bite and I said, God damn it. It made
God
me
damn
angry
it!
how
Nobody
good it
makes
was.
me wet without my consent.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, man, I wanted to get the sausage and gravy hand pie, but I was like, ugh, are they going to have to heat it up? Is it going to be a whole thing? Do I have to wait more? Because I was like had to go to work. But everybody go try Damn Fine Hand Pies. Follow them on Instagram.
Yeah, Up Late, Damn Fine Hand Pies.
Good Company.
Good Company. Seriously, Good Company started the summer of salads for me.
Oh, I've been recreating the Brussels sprout Caesar.
I've been doing it at home. It's
Yes.
not nearly as good at my house as it is
No.
at Good Company, but if you can't get there or you're just by yourself, they made me fall in love with the Brussels sprout Caesar salad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they use pecorino cheese. I just
I
have
did an
Kraft
Asiago.
Parmesan at home.
Yeah, I did an
because I'm
Asiago
a
Romano blend.
fucking piglet.
Yes.
But I ate all that. So
Yeah.
now if I buy more cheese, I'm going to get the pecorino. And it's like a
That's good to
roasted
know.
Brussels sprout
Mhm.
on arugula.
Which I have
and
fresh arugula in my
with
garden.
crispy quinoa and
cheese.
what kind of cheese?
You just said pecorino.
Pecorino, but is there something else? There's
No.
croutons.
No, no croutons. This is a toasted quinoa. Is
It's just
the
the
crouton.
toasted. Yeah, it's
which
so
I can't
good.
do quinoa, so I've been toasting breadcrumbs.
I do a whole
instead.
one of those. And now everywhere I go, if there's a salad, I'm going to get it. Because to have something somewhere where I can have fresh produce that someone else has made sure is available and clean and ready to serve, it's just invaluable to
I
me.
have arugula growing in my garden. We could make like a very good
Listen,
one together.
Listen, I just haven't ever,
You just haven't
just
been over to my house.
fresh I was just there. We had crab
For
legs. It was
my
lovely.
birthday.
Well, it was your birthday. I thought it was a good time to come by. And you know what I noticed too is local mint is a little too grassy.
I don't know. I don't eat mint that much because I grow it myself if I do, but I'm like, I
But-
dry it usually.
Yeah,
And
but people will be like, "Oh, we're making mojitos with mint from my garden, and it tastes like grass."
it's a little too earthy. Maybe they're using cat mint instead of regular spearmint.
Oh, cat mint.
Yeah.
If somebody puts cat mint in my glass,
You wouldn't know the difference.
oh,
You would say, oh, this tastes a little earthy.
it tastes like grass. It tastes like grass.
I have some in my yard right now. We can pull it up and see the
No.
difference.
I mean, but I'm saying if I'm out and about, like I had the beet salad at Cyberg's today. They gave me way too much dressing. I used half of it.
What kind of dressing did you get?
It was the raspberry vinaigrette that comes on their beet salad.
Gotcha.
I try to avoid creamy dressings unless, of course,
It's the
it's
Caesar salad.
the Brussels Caesar,
or
but
the
that's
kale
a fresh
Caesar
made.
that I make.
There's no dairy in that.
It's mayo, sweetheart.
In what?
In the Caesar salad dressing?
But there's no milk in it.
I mean, no, not milk,
No, right.
but there's egg.
That doesn't bother me. That's a chicken's baby, and it's been emulsified into a dressing.
But who puts milk in dressings? What dressings are you thinking of with milk?
Ranch.
Ranch doesn't have milk in it. Well, buttermilk ranch would, but you
Yeah.
can make ranch with not milk.
With just mayo?
I mean, you probably could, yeah. You can make it with like sour cream.
Yeah, no, but that's milk.
Yeah,
bitch.
but is it like runny milk? You're doing like a cream, like a heavy cream.
Caesar's as creamy as I like to go, is what I'm saying.
What are your thoughts on blue cheese?
I love
That's
whole blue
disgusting.
cheese, but not as a dressing.
Disgusting.
I will never like blue cheese.
I also
Blue cheese
like
and
gorgonzola.
Ugh!
I also like
See,
gorgonzola.
I can't do it. I cannot do a gorgonzola. It tastes like feet. Do you have a foot fetish? We
I
know
don't.
about? Do you wanna talk about
I don't
that?
know that I've ever accurately tasted a foot.
I don't believe that.
I'm.
I can for sure say I haven't.
Yeah. Right.
100%.
Same here.
You just said I don't.
I don't. But I don't know that I would say something tastes like feet. I could maybe tell you something tastes the way a foot smells, but that's not been my experience with gorgonzola.
Really?
Nope.
It's a little too bitter. I don't know.
Bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer a goat cheese.
Yeah, and I don't know. I struggle with this because I really
Mhm.
feel gross consuming things that are obviously milk based, except for cheeses.
Did you drink milk a lot growing up?
I never liked it. I always tried to get out of it. Sometimes I would ask my mom if I could put ice in it because the colder it was,
Yeah.
the less it would gross me out. But
Yeah.
she would say, no, that's not normal. You can't do that. I'm like, why don't you just let me get through it? Why don't you let me get through the milk it's skim milk,
I
Kathy.
drank milk every day growing up, like till I don't know. It was called Pink Stuff, and we did the strawberry Nesquik syrup in milk, microwaved for 30 seconds. It was like my coffee.
I was there until you microwaved it.
Until you nuked it, I was like, this is
I
all
didn't
normal.
do that. My mother did that, and that was like my thing. And then
She's
they
like,
tried
"You
to
know
wean
what?
me off it, like it was like
Do you-
crack.
Do
Yeah.
you know what this glass of corn syrup and
Because
fluid
that's one of the
from
few things I do remember from my childhood. Is that I would
pasteurized
have my
fluid from
Pink
another
Stuff.
animal? You know what this needs? A little bit of nuclear radiation. Can we radiate the breast milk from
Well,
another
think about
animal.
hot chocolate. It was basically strawberry hot chocolate.
I'm there.
I mean, look, I'm not drinking it today.
But
I
there's
would never
a
do that
difference
today.
between steaming milk and microwaving.
It was 35 seconds in the microwave.
It's just weird.
You know,
that it
I really
needs
want
it
to
at
try one
all.
of those dirty Cokes soon, where you put like half and half in the Coke.
I don't think I could do it.
You know what's not bad is if you do like you get a little single serve of a non-dairy creamer.
Yeah.
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 Onto like an iced tea is really good.
No, see, and I can't drink milk anymore though.
What?
But growing up, because I
non-dairy
had that all the time,
creamer
I,
is non-dairy.
Burned myself out on anything. I only drink Silk vanilla almond milk coffee creamer.
I like the oat. I prefer oat.
Oh, I don't like oat.
Oh, I prefer oat. My favorite is the dark chocolate oat.
Because oat tastes too much like oat. Like I'm drinking oatmeal water. I do prefer a soy milk. Like if I'm gonna have to drink
well, that's
milk.
the thing. I don't like to fill up on soy because it'll make me gay.
See, I'm addicted to ice cream, so milk is amazing for me.
No, I like
I like a
here's the thing.
dippy, like a dippy and Oreo.
Oh, I
or
just
like
had a vanilla bean
graham
Haagen-Dazs last night. It was
Well,
delicious.
Oreos are vegan.
Yeah, Oreos are.
I mean,
vegan.
I think it's debated within the vegan community. I don't have a
Well, it depends
opinion
on
either
how
way.
vegan you
on
are.
this issue,
they're.
I can confidently demand
I would
trial
say
by
that
combat.
my friends who are vegan do eat Oreos.
Oh, okay.
And they're pretty, I mean, they're not like hardcore. Like,
But you have friends that are like ultra vegans that they're like they want to be more vegan than vegans.
Yes.
And so there's so what do they eat?
They actually just today at the Ecstatic Dance they had
Yeah.
some vegan pastries and stuff. It was.
do they look for animal byproduct in like their vitamins and pills and things like that? Like nutrients?
I would assume. I would assume that they
Because there
do.
are some that do, and some people are like, no,
because
like,
they're very
that's
conscious.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I would assume that they do. It wouldn't necessarily.
It'd be funny if
surprise
they
me.
heard this and they were like, "Fuck! Now we got to check the vitamins."
Yeah.
Shit, we've been doing so good.
Yeah.
I found out recently. I had a vegan friend that her and I we had a falling out because she is mentally ill. But I'm still very
I'm
close
sure that'll
with her
help.
partner. And well, you know, it was one of those where I set boundaries and she physically showed up to my home to cross those boundaries. So that was cool. Anyway, after we were friends, I was talking to somebody and we were talking about Mexican beans, right? That you would get in a Mexican restaurant. And she always used to eat those because they are not animal products usually. She would say no cheese on them or whatever. Most Mexican restaurants mix their beans with lard.
Yeah, that's why they're good.
And that
She
always
thought those were just straight beans.
yeah.
She said it's just beans, bruh.
And that kind of like
She thought it was hummus that was
because
just
of the hurt
miraculously
she's
better.
caused me, that's like my one little like, ha, fuck you. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
you've been eating animal this whole time. I hope you never find out. And I hope you go to hell. What are you doing?
Me? I'm being a menace to society. So she thought the Mexican beans were just
Refried beans, yeah.
She said you heat them up and then you mash them, you heat them up again, and that they just come out that way, silky and buttery and delicious.
Yeah.
It's
I
all
mean-
natural bean.
Do they add lard into the refried bean cans that you can get
Yeah.
at the store? Do they?
Give me a can right now. I bet
I don't know. Let me just pull.
we should
Got
be
one of
doing
my
this
I
in a
have some
grocery store.
I have some leftover baked beans in my lunchbox. But I
Okay,
don't think
so the
that'll
next
help.
episode we're doing on location at a grocery store. We're just gonna pull cans from the shelf and look at the ingredients and just shake our head
And we're
like
going to
this.
watch $1 Million Baby.
We're watching $1 Million Baby on a portable DVD player.
I still have our DVD player that we got from high school graduation. It still works, I believe.
Mine is on top of my stepdad's bedroom TV right now. It's his bedroom DVD player since, I guess, 20 years.
Did you guys get baller gifts when you graduated high school?
I don't even know what you're talking
We had
about
an
with these
after-
gifts.
no, she went to-
I went to a Catholic.
We went to Kirkwood. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, so
Gifts. They were like
at the after graduation, there was like a thing at the
senior night.
DePere Lodge where there were like raffles for things, and like I won a DVD player.
No, everyone got one.
Everyone won something, but you got
Yeah.
to pick between a couple things.
It was
and
like a printer,
there was a microwave.
a microwave, a DVD
Toaster still
player.
has his microwave.
Okay.
He was riding that microwave hard.
Yeah, I still have the DVD player.
Yeah, exactly. Memorex is
Yeah.
the brand.
Mhm.
And the other, there was one other thing. It was probably something good, like a book.
Yeah, like we had like rented out like the lodge, the community center
And
in
there were-
DePere,
yeah.
and like partied all night. Like they rented it out for us
Damn.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I left early to go to a club.
Well, I left early because I had to go have alcohol because there was none alcohol served at the event.
Yeah, I think.
And I was like, madam,
I think me and
no
Lauren
re-entry.
left
Who needs it?
and went to go hang out with our Bosnian friends.
I got my DVD player. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I'm going to go commit a crime.
Yeah.
I received a diploma and a blessing.
This is what's great. How long did you go to private school?
2nd, 3rd, 4th grade.
And then, so Lucius and Tim, I found out last week, went to Catholic school the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was trying to explain to them, like, how different shit became when we were in public school.
But I also went to a very different private school. I did not go to a Catholic private school. I went to the college school in Webster Groves, which was very much like nature education based.
Oh, yeah. That sounds cool.
Yeah. So, like, our big field trips every year were camping trips where in 3rd grade, there are pictures of me putting up a tent. And we had to dig a hole to go to the bathroom in and stuff like that. Like, I learned about, like, nature and, like, real life experiences more so than, like, math.
What about you?
I mean, are you talking about like elementary school?
Any field trips?
Field trips. The big ones I remember, like Mark Twain caverns, going up there in a bus, going to the zoo.
Yeah, we had a rock climbing wall in our gym, and I went spelunking.
Yeah, we had a couple. We had like 6
we went
6 basketball hoops
in 6th grade camp.
We didn't even have
that
a playground.
That sleepaway camp in 6th grade. And
I don't know if Nyford went to the same place or not, because I don't think we went spelunking. Maybe we did, but I don't remember.
And it was spelunking light. It was, you know what I mean? But
it
was dark.
The principal came. God, I want to say 3rd grade was when we did the big spelunking trip, because there was this hole in the cave that you had to crawl through, and I suffered from really bad claustrophobia as a kid, and so like the principal of the school came on that field trip to like be behind me and talk me through it, but like it totally helped me get over that. You know what I mean? But the college school is like, they have a wait list, and there are only 25 kids per class. Like, they don't fuck around. It's a very kind of like exclusive thing because it was so brand new at the time.
Right.
I want one of their shirts still. College school, if anybody's listening, I want one of the shirts.
Where did you go after that?
North Glendale, Nyfer, and then Kirkwood.
Because
I started at North Glendale. I was in 1st grade at North Glendale.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of issues with the teachers and the kids, and I was being bullied a lot.
Yeah. Your high school was co-ed?
All girls, baby.
Girls. So
all
which one
girls.
Was there a prom?
Oh yeah, I was prom queen, honey.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know? Are you serious? You had no idea?
I am in the presence of royalty.
I didn't know.
Are you serious?
I didn't know that.
I was literally voted unbeknownst to me. I was put on the ballot and there was no like. What do they call
campaign?
That? Campaign, yeah. And I was voted in, and I wore a tux to my senior prom.
Did you?
And I won prom queen in a tux at an all girls Catholic school.
I think my friend Harry had a similar situation at their school.
It was
back
so
in the
cool.
day. Like,
it was really affirming.
So that's so great.
What school
And
did
was
you go
that
to?
part
Incarnate
of it?
Word.
Was it that your peers felt compelled to validate you in that way?
I don't even think of maybe. I honestly don't know, because it really felt like it came out of nowhere.
For you.
For me, yeah. And like people were like whispering to me, like I think it was like a landslide that you had won and everything. And
because it's their way to put a stamp on, we know that you haven't been able to be your true self in this environment, but that we appreciate you and you've been a positive to us, and so that it kind of puts a period on that, and that your time there living in the repressed state you had to have been in in the W. Bush era administration,
and honestly,
at all girls Catholic school at that time.
It's a story that writes itself, because my dad tried to make me not go to my prom because he found out that I was wearing a tux and I was bringing my girlfriend. And he sat me down on the front porch and was like, I'm trying to implore you to not go. Telling you to not go.
Like trying to protect you in a way.
Yeah, protect me or himself or whatever.
Right. Projecting.
And so that happens, and I'm like obviously ignoring it because I just, you
already got the tux.
Yeah. I already reserved it.
Everything is paid
no.
for except for the tip at dinner, Father.
Pretty
I have
much.
to go.
And so I was sitting in math class a couple days later, and I get pulled out by the dean. And he's a old friend of the family. He was like my basketball coach from like 4th, 5th, 6th grade. And he's like, so I just had a conversation with your dad. He told me that you wanted to come to prom and wear
inappropriate
a tux.
Complete boundary crossing.
Yeah. And that you wanted to bring your girlfriend. And, I respect your dad and everything, but I'm just going to let you know that you can do that.
Awesome.
Like, you can come and, I don't care
yourself,
at all. Be yourself. And to hear that from like a from like a Catholic
a trusted
school,
adult.
a trusted
Authority.
adult, authority figure.
Yeah.
I had never heard
genuinely,
anything like that
I'm
before.
surprised that he felt comfortable enough to tell you that it was okay.
Honestly, me too.
Because
An 18-year-old
it's
person,
that seems brave and validating in a way that it didn't have to be yet at the time. Because he could have done a non-answer, be like, "Listen, I totally respect. We both understand how your dad feels about the situation. I'm not here to make those decisions for you. You're an adult. This is your event. You know what I mean? So you do what you want to do." But for him to say that you can absolutely do exactly what your dad described to me seems really brave. And so obviously, I'm saying these people that are not here,
and he's the one that's collecting all this money from my dad. Like my dad hates the school because they affirm me. You know what I mean? Like,
how dare
all
you
this
accept
fucking
my
money.
child?
I took you there to get this education.
You were supposed to change her.
Yeah. And so, but also they were all informed of my issues too, because I had done some inpatient, like suicide watch, like moments there, and so
God, I wish I had done that in high school.
Probably that sort of.
You are not checking
attitude.
Facebook while your very good friend is telling a very heartfelt story.
Honey, what? What? This is
I can see your phone.
What's my name?
I have to go on Do Not Disturb because I get blasted with.
I didn't go to prom. My senior prom night, I was dating a bartender at a Bosnian bar and was there, and somebody had roofied me that night.
Hot.
So
they knew you were missing out on prom, I think. And
I'm sure.
They wanted you to make a memory.
I'm sure. Nothing
or
happened,
have no
though.
memory.
Nothing happened. I actually do kind of remember some of it because I walked out because I remember I had a friend, Heidi from Emos.
Heidi, R.I.P.
She's alive still.
Oh.
I mean, I get it. Most of the people from Emos are dead
I'm about to say, I mean, there was a 50-50 shot on that one.
Yeah. Half of them died in 1 year in a 6-month span.
So I'm not crazy.
Right,
I'm not some monster.
Heidi's still alive.
I'm so glad Heidi's alive.
Heidi stopped by the bar and she was even like, "Are you okay? Like, you seem like you're really wasted." And I was like, "Oh, I've only had like a drink and a shot. Like, what do you?" I mean, obviously I knew I was slurring my words and stuff. And back then I could handle my alcohol when I was drinking. Like I was always the most sober out of all of us.
Yeah, you were additionally.
And I remember leaving the bar to go to my car just to like be by myself, and 2 guys were following me, and I knew who they were. But they kept on trying to talk to me, and I, being myself, who I am, I just started being loud and like, "Get the fuck away from me!" I'm like yelling in the middle of Gravois, you know what Gravois and Neosho. That's where I'm screaming my brains out. And so they were like, "Oh shit!" Like it's obviously not hit her too hard yet. And so I was like puking out of my car in the passenger seat so I wouldn't get a D-dub.
That's the Kirkwood move. Somebody had told all of us, if you're drunk but you have to be in your car, sit in the passenger seat.
No keys in the ignition because you'll get a D-dub.
Don't start the car. Roll the window down. Take the keys back out, and then puke out the window and just wait.
Well, and like a couple walking by, I remember where the old Cherry Lounge was, whatever that bar was at the time, they were like walking by, they're like, "You okay?" And I was like, "I'm so fine." It was so bad. And then right around closing time, I finally sobered up. I went back and I was sitting on the steps, and the guy I was seeing at the time, I don't know, he was mad at me for whatever reason he was. And I was puking on the steps in front of this bar, and no one's like, "Hey, maybe we should get her inside, take care of this girl."
Literally.
And I'm at the park a week later because that's what we used to do. We used to hang out with all of our friends at the park. And some guy walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, did everything work out between you and your dude?" And I looked at him and I was like, "What are you talking about, sir? I have never met you before in my life." And then he said to me, I was like, "Oh my God, you were talking to me outside of the bar while I was vomiting and crying about my boyfriend." And I was like, "Oh yeah, everything was fine. I think he popped some ecstasy that night and we all went out to another bar or something. I don't know."
And so I think though that what we've established is that this was around the same night.
Yeah.
That both of these things are happening.
Because you were at Kirkwood prom and we had very.
I had a
field
girlfriend
winner.
at that time, so we were not hanging out much.
Who was your girlfriend then? Oh. That bitch.
I mean, you know what that whole thing was? And I would love.
No, because Aaron didn't hate me.
No, but
outwardly hate me.
No, but
so I could be around.
No, yeah, you were
and Ellie weren't hanging out.
But also you didn't necessarily want to hang around her either. We had fun when she was at work, and then when she was off work and I had to hang out with her, you guys went and had fun, played beer pong, and I was not.
I wasn't playing. I was at
right or whatever.
But
that whole thing was really, neither of us had really had much of a self-esteem, and so we never thought we'd really pursue relationships with anybody else. We didn't think we'd have the opportunity.
Yeah. You never ran into her as like an adult, right?
Oh, sure, I have two. She's blonde now. She got LASIK.
She did. I ran into her with your brother, I think.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a weird episode. This is a weird one.
It's been a weird week, ladies and gentlemen. If you survived it, congratulations.
So my problem was, because I took a Valium. My grandmother, I told my grandmother I was anxious about prom. She said, "Come on by, I'll give you a Valium." And she gives me a little Valium, and I take that when I get out of the shower, getting ready. And
who did you guys go with?
it was
Because Ellie and Keenan.
I want
to
say Christine's mom dropped us off.
Okay. You guys didn't get a limo? Ooh.
No. Well, they had a town and country, which is like a limo.
Yeah.
If you've ever been in one, and
if I've ever been in one.
I don't know that we had.
I've probably been in nicer cars.
I don't remember
ever in your entire life.
I don't think they made us do a whole bunch in the way of photos, or maybe they just didn't make me. I mean, I'm sure I posed in something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I remember pictures.
We went to Moss's for dinner.
Because your mom wanted me to take Clay to my senior prom.
That would be, yeah.
She really wanted me to.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
She was going to let me borrow her shoes from prom and everything.
Oh, God. That's the first time.
I don't know, because I didn't have a date, because no one asked me to prom.
Was that the first time my wife met
go.
my mom?
No.
When my mom was drunk and in her prom heels?
I don't know which time.
Okay. That's a good point.
Reliving the good old days?
Reliving the good old days. So, wait a minute. How, the night of prom, leading up to the announcement of prom queen, how soon before that do you know that it's even an option?
An option
that you could win?
Nominees were like before.
They announced nominees before?
Yes. And there was a voting process. But
you were not campaigning.
I was like
yourself.
Switzerland, and I usually am of like just general things. Like I was just friends with everybody in that sort of sense, you know.
What's your sun sign?
Libra.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have a Libra moon.
And so
my wife's a Libra.
Heavy Libra.
Heavy
Stellium,
Libra.
Just like
really?
You're a heavy Capricorn.
Yeah.
When's Key's birthday?
October 17th.
Mine's the 10th. So that's cool. Yeah, so there was a voting process. I don't really remember that too much about that particular part. I don't remember it being a big deal though, that like everybody was like, "Oh my God, like you're going to be prom queen." I think it was more of like, "Oh my God, like like what is this?"
And then did you have to do anything weird?
No, they like we walked, like they processed in, and they were with their date, and I walked with my girlfriend down there, and there's like all teachers around me, like clapping, like big smiles. It was crazy.
So,
and then they announced it, and they gave me the sash and crown, and there wasn't any dances or anything because it was just a queen. There was no king.
That's
oh, so that's even more special.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
You were the person of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me think about
my superlatives were like most talented and most likely to be famous.
Did we have those?
I can't imagine. We had senior quotes.
Somebody was mad at me in the yearbook, so I didn't get a lot of feature, even though I won state that year.
In racquetball.
Yep.
I always tell people this is the state of Missouri racquetball champion of 2009.
I was nobody had won. I was the first woman from Kirkwood to win state. Second person
for
ever
racquetball?
of all time. Yeah,
that's sick.
Undefeated my senior year. And then the next girl that won state was like a couple, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago or something like that. And like, because I followed their program still, and I was like very excited, like that somebody else had won. You know what I mean? Like, and my cousins or anybody that I know with like clients, kids and stuff, when they go to the high school, they see my picture in the trophy for racquetball,
cool.
and it's super funny. They all love it.
That's so cool.
I should go back.
So
You're
rich.
memorialized.
I am.
Yeah.
I have like an actual like legit paperwork from like Missouri Senate or something for winning
Cool.
state at my school.
I remember you being on the morning announcements.
Yeah,
Dr. Holly
I got
was very
I got
proud
away
of
with a lot because I was a good athlete.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. And
But I also wasn't a bad kid.
how was your GPA?
I think I graduated with like a 3.5, maybe a 3.2 at the lowest.
That's
like I was
great.
and I didn't try. And my senior year, I had double early dismissal, so I was like checked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And
Toaster,
you wrote half of my papers for me.
I was writing papers for packs of Parliament lights in those days.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Parliament lights are high. When I would write you an essay for, it'd be like a pack of
$20.
Parliament lights per page, right? So if it's a 5-page essay that's like, you know what I
I
mean?
think
What-
I would just give you $20.
Yeah, you were getting a friend
cigarettes.
discount, but I had to start hustling up, building out the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Those pea
And-
stickies.
Yeah, and the and Parliament Lights had just hit $4.45 a pack at the Kirkwood Deli
Mhm.
Magic Market at the
Yep.
time. Now they're $9.50 a pack
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how much
for
Marlboro Lights are.
Parliaments.
Yeah. That's how much. I think.
Are they putting crack in them?
The BP on Jefferson is about 8. The other BP's 9. Some places like at QT, it's like $10 a pack.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
But you know what's crazy? I can get cannabis any day of the week for $25 an eighth, which I hate paying because it could be cheaper.
Oh, that's right. Because you do dispensaries still.
Well, because I don't have a wholesale guy. I'm sorry.
Yes,
gonna
you
s-
do.
Well, you try getting a hold of him. Let's not dox anybody on the air.
Okay, but my person
Listen.
that's friends with your person.
Yeah, but he's not. I'm not built into his life already. You know what I mean?
I wasn't built into his life.
You're right. I'll call him when I leave here.
I'll text him right now.
I don't think I have any money right now. Let's not call him right now.
I'm
fine.
just gonna text
I'm
him and
fine
say
for a
that
couple
you
days.
need.
But
him.
when we were in high school, marijuana was $60 an eighth.
I didn't smoke weed in high school, so I don't. I
Me
mean,
neither.
They always
'Cause
gave it to
was
me for free
$60 an eighth.
at
That
emos.
sounds insane.
And it was like you were lucky if it was North County Reggie.
I worked with multiple pot dealers,
But it's because
at
it was
emos,
like
so-
it was like illegal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was $60 an eighth, and it was garbage, and you didn't really have a choice. You didn't fuck with what strain is it? It's like what do you got? Is it real weed? Thank you. That'll be $60. But then there was an English guy who we knew was a narc, and he was hanging around all of a sudden. He would
Who
just
are you talking about?
there was I could have been a senior in high school, and my group of friends that would hang out at Starbucks with and whatnot. We started hanging out with this English guy.
I don't remember him.
He didn't go to school with us.
No, I
he
know,
was-
but I'm just saying, in a general.
But I don't remember really ever like bringing him anywhere. He would just kind of show up, and then he'd kind of leave on his own, and it was kind of weird. He was never
But
with.
senior year, you were working at emos with me,
Yeah, for sure. He never came up there.
right?
But he and so maybe it was before that. And he always wanted weed. And none of us really even smoked weed. Certainly not in front of him, and none of us certainly sold any. And so one time I was like, well, I think I know a guy where I could get you some to be like $60. He'd be like, for weed, and he got mad and he hung up.
Like
So-
it was legal in the UK or some shit back
No, it was not.
No.
It was I think
$60 for an 8th track.
I think he was a
remember
narc.
that,
I think they were like, go find some street kids and score me some drugs and we'll bust them.
because almost every manager at emos at that time was dealing pot.
He was a
So
weird
we
dude.
always had. It was always available. It was a novelty at emos when I would smoke because I didn't.
I was
smoke.
smoking blunts with my manager at Pump It Up
Yeah.
in St. Charles.
What is Pump It Up?
It's an inflatable party zone for children.
It sounds like a job you need to smoke weed at.
Yeah,
I just
it was
drove
like
by-
one time, and we was like in the bathroom. We used one of the big blowers
Yeah.
to like blow all of the. It was a whole blunt.
Yeah.
Like who does that? A whole
Listen.
blunt in a bathroom.
I think it should be essential. It should be a part of the day. Like 10 minutes before the doors open, everyone needs to get in on this blunt
Yeah,
because I can't have you have an unwelcoming energy.
I haven't smoked any weed today.
yeah.
Well, it's early.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
have to
even
work.
4.
What is that?
What is that?
I don't know. It's like
It's a thread?
yeah, and this is my favorite flannel. I got it at a thrift store, and the company doesn't exist anymore, so it's very hard to find them.
So
again.
and I hate to hard pivot on you, but
Hard pivot.
we're running long, and I want to make sure we get an astrological update
I
because
don't know.
we're moving into a very delicate time where I think we're and
I am just trying to survive, and one would think that being with the stellium we have in Gemini right now of multiple planets transitioning through Gemini, I would be having a good time. I am not having a good time. This has been one of the hardest weeks I have experienced in a while. And I feel like a lot of people have felt that way. Right now, obviously, our sun is in Gemini.
Right.
Let's see. We're not in a retrograde, I'll tell you that. I regularly, as always, will give a shout out to the Awake Space podcast and Astro Lori on TikTok. She is the astrologer I follow. She is like the person. So currently our planetary transitions, we have our sun in Gemini, moon in Cancer, and Cancer loves to be in the moon. That's very much like one of its homier signs. Mercury and Venus in Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini, Mars in Aries. That's the one that we really need to look out for. Mars, obviously, the planet of war. Aries being a fire sign. So if people around you lately have been a little bit more on edge or a little bit more quick to pop off, that's why. So before you get mad and you snap at somebody, think about what you're saying. Take a second, take a breath, and is this something I need to get worked up over? We are back with Pluto in Aquarius, and so Pluto's going to jump between Capricorn and Aquarius until about November, when it's going to stay in Aquarius for the next, I believe 25 years or something like that. A long time.
Wow.
Maybe not 25. That seems extreme, but usually generations are based off of, like, a whole generation will be in one sign. So millennials, millennials mostly will have Pluto in Scorpio. But the way that affects you is where that ranges in your planet. So I have Pluto in my 3rd house, which is more like mentality and like inner thoughts and things like that. And that's why I kind of have more psychic abilities, because I have my Scorpio and Pluto.
Interesting.
I need to run your chart. When you said you were Libra, I was like, I want to read. I want to.
Please do me.
Yes, absolutely. Because when I ran Jake's,
should we do it on air?
Do it on air, please.
When I did Jake's and it pulled up and it was that stellium in Capricorn, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So I think we have it on air, because we did it live.
My Pluto is Scorpio.
Ellie must be having a good time because her Mars and her Venus are in Gemini. Ellie must be feeling very loving right now.
My Sun's in Capricorn. My Neptune is in Capricorn. My Moon's in Capricorn. Mercury, Uranus, Capricorn. It's just a swap meet over here. Should we
Okay,
throw
what do
one
you need
together?
from me?
Could we run one for
Well,
Lou?
we don't want to do anything we don't need birth time or anything like that. I don't want to like dox you. But I can run a birth chart. Let's see. Let me
Do you want-
create a new chart?
Did you
Lucius
just add me?
airdrop me.
Lucius could text me any sensitive information.
Yeah, or just airdrop me. I need your birth date, time, and place.
You know the time?
I do, because I have my I've done the CoStar thing.
Oh
so
my God, I love that Cafe Astrology, which is where I usually like run charts and get a quick rundown. They have he, she, or they.
You
so
could just
look at that. Look
you
at them
could just
being ahead
drop
of
us
the
our
times.
your table from your table chart from CoStar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me figure out how to do that.
You just take a screenshot of it.
Oh, sick. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, the table that you're saying?
Right.
Table chart? Gotcha.
Also delete CoStar and download time passages, everyone.
I thought I got
CoStar is a
CoStar because of
bug.
you.
What? Let me write that down.
There's so much to follow up on, so much to write down. Not a sponsor.
I would have prepared astrological
I
stuff.
know.
if
I
I'd
thought
known.
I
It
was
so
singing
last
today.
minute.
I thought I could sing today. I can't sing today.
We'll have one
Time
next
lapse.
Time. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry. Time passages.
Time passages.
It's way more detailed and it tells you what's going on and gives you. I'm actually starting to get into like actually charting things and like learning about like how to correctly make a chart and things
That's
like that.
cool.
And like there's a wheel kind of that tells you what year in your life what you're going to be focusing on the most.
Wow. That's so cool.
I actually recently did a reading for a friend. She texted us and she was like, why does everything seem so bad? And I had a whole astrological thing written out and I was like, don't be that person, just be a friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, me too, blah, blah, blah. And then I said that, like, oh, I had a whole astrological thing typed out. And she was like, no, that's what I wanted. That's why I texted you.
Oh,
I was like, all right, let's side
that's why
text.
they call you.
Whoop. And so I was like, give me your chart information again. And I looked it up and then I laughed because I was like, oh, that's why we're best friends, because your sun sign is my Venus sign and vice versa. And that's why we're soulmates. But I was telling her that I was trying this out. So we were kind of looking at it and I was reading over like, she's really in a place where like her relationships are supposed to be focused on and that's where they're going to grow. And that's kind of what she needs to work on for this upcoming year. And she was like, oh, that makes sense, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, do you want to try to do a tarot reading? Because I've been also trying to tap more into that. And the reading literally was everything I just said astrologically.
Wow.
Like it was just like a cosign on it. Like, yes, absolutely. Keep doing what you're doing.
Crazy.
You're doing the right thing. And it was crazy too, because I've known her grandparents. They've since passed. And I have my grandpa is on the other side and my great grandma who I'm named after. And they're both very heavy around me at all times.
Wait,
wow.
what
and
do I
Smitty.
choose for my house calculation?
Placidus.
Placidus.
And so we were talking and I like made a joke like, oh, don't make fun of the way I shuffle tarot cards. I never learned properly how to when I was little. And my grandpa would always say that they would shoot you in the Wild West for that. That was always his thing. So every time I shuffle cards, I like laugh because I can hear him saying
That's
that.
funny.
Whether or not he's actually saying it, you know what I mean? It's just that
Right.
memory's there. And she started laughing and she was like, wait, she was like, did our grandparents know each other? Like, my grandma used to say the same thing. And when I had been meditating beforehand and kind of trying to, get into that zone of tapping into the other side, I felt grandma. Like, I felt my grandma giving me a hug. And I was like, oh, that was your grandma. That was your grandparents coming through. And then once that clicked, everything started steamrolling, and I was like, your grandparents, you got to see the social media aspect. I was like, what I'm hearing is all that glitters is not gold. All that, you know what I mean? Like, you saw the happy times. You didn't see what happened behind closed doors. Not that they were not happy, but she didn't see those fights. You know what I mean? And I can understand how that would affect your current relationship. Like, you think everything's supposed to be perfect, so why are we arguing about somebody leaving the fucking toilet seat up? Like, but that was just like a really cool moment that we had after that. So I'm trying to tap more into that. So if anybody wants an astrological or tarot reading, please hit me up because I would like to start doing that.
Where should they do that?
On Instagram.
Sheer Hair on Instagram.
At SCHEER.hair.
I'm just checking.
Well, you don't want to spell my last name sometimes. I don't.
That's why I asked.
Are we?
What do I need?
So
we gonna do it off
I
air,
forwarded
so we
it
can?
to you. My
You should have been able to airdrop it to me.
I can do that as well.
What, me and
No, I
Lucius
got
aren't
it.
allowed to have each other's phone numbers? Do
No,
you think we're
you
going to
probably
gang up
already
on
do.
you? I have Tim's
But
number.
this is
If you have your airdrop, oh, you got it. Okay.
I do have my airdrop on. I should anyway. Gemini and Mars.
Give me your phone.
Hello. Wow, you got a lot of stelliums here. Not too many though.
airdrop
Not too bad.
updated.
We're trading. Did you get it?
Well, I just put your airdrop on everyone.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so you got in your first house, your Leo rising. So you're a Libra sun, a Cancer moon.
Cancer loves the moon.
You're sensitive. You emotional.
Mm-hmm.
You're a crier. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm a
I cry on the inside more than the outside.
I'm a Cancer, Venus, and Mars. So I cry when I'm mad and when I'm happy. This is just emotional.
Yeah.
You got 3 in Libra, 3 in Capricorn. I would love to see where your Chiron placement is. Because Chiron, where it sits in your chart, is where you should be. Like, that's what, if you're going to therapy, that's what you want to start with, is wherever your Chiron is.
How do I find that? Is that with the other app you're
That
talking about?
might be, do I have Chiron on that app? I could also look it up for you. Yeah, so the one that I talked about, Time Passages, does have your Chiron. Where's my chart? This is not me.
Here, let me see
Anyway.
my
My chart. Aspects. Yeah, so my Chiron is in Cancer, which is in my 11th house, which represents issues with one's vital force to belong, to function as a part of a group consciousness, and to integrate with the human family. So that's accurate. That's very on point.
Yeah.
But I want to read more into your chart for sure. We'll have to do that, and I'll have to send it to you because I like to do run. I mean, I think it just helps make things make sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Jacob, can you just forward me Emma's information?
Do some contact.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Some drops. We might still have each other's contacts, but some people.
My thing is, what should we astrologically kind of look forward to in the next couple of months?
Look forward to?
Like, what should we be planning for? I need to
Here's
know.
the thing.
Because here's the thing. I'm going to be in a time of transition. Our nation is going to be in a time of transition.
Donald Trump will never be president again. You can count on it. I've made financial bets on it. Astro Lori, again, who is a phenomenal astrologer. She also worked in the political science field. She very much knows what she's talking about. She predicted his win in 2016. She is saying he will never become president again. Will he see a day in jail? We don't know. Could or could not. Will he see some health issues coming up? Yes. He does not have great transits coming up in July specifically. There's not a lot to look forward to. I'm so sorry to say that. There really isn't. Something that she talked about a little bit was that we're in a time of dismantling systems that have been in place for hundreds of thousands of years, right? We're kind of awakening as a society. We're kind of seeing the tail end of capitalism. We're seeing the end of, the patriarchal society. Well, it might not feel like that on your day-to-day to some people, but that is what's happening, right? Our eyes are opening. But think about how long it's going to take to dismantle those systems and also rebuild into a new one. It's just a lot of patience and really focusing on yourself. You know what I mean? I've noticed personally when I'm having a bad day, or what I say is like, oh God, I'm a hater today. Like, I just hate everything. Like, fuck that person for walking that way. Fuck you for looking at me that way. Like, I have to turn back in myself and say, okay, what's going on with me? And why am I so not willing to focus on myself and wanting to nitpick other people? What am I projecting onto other people? And that's what everybody kind of needs to keep in mind. I'm not sure about any retrogrades we have going on. But there is, I mean, Gemini is an air sign. We are, a lot of people say two-faced, which is inaccurate. It's kind of got that duality of a Libra, but a little more chaotic because it's the twins, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And if that's what you're feeling right now, that's because we have so many planets in Gemini happening. October is going to be rough, especially with weather. Right now, we're seeing a lot of seismic activity off of the West Coast, so don't be surprised if coming up there are earthquakes in Missouri, or places that they normally are not. There's probably going to be some early tropical storms and/or hurricanes in the Gulf and/or hitting the East Coast. There's just going to be a lot going on. But why I like to listen to the Awake Space every week, because she does drop it weekly, it prepares me for what's coming. So like when the bridge collapse happened in Baltimore, however many months ago, she had it was like, I heard that going on my way to work. She said there might be some, bridge collapsing, something like that. And I was like, oh, she predicted that. Cool. Like
that's crazy.
It doesn't make it better, but it makes it less shocking and jarring and less something for me to focus my anxiety on. You know what I mean? Like anything like that. But really, I mean, and that's just the basis of spirituality, right? Like, let's not look at other people. Let's look within and try to figure out how we can do better. Something that I've been getting a lot lately and has been a reoccurring theme is an apology without changed behavior is a manipulation. And that has been on my heart heavy with a lot of people, and reassessing relationships in my own life. Like, if somebody keeps doing the same thing over and over and apologizing over and over, well, they're just manipulating you into feeling bad for them so that they continue that pattern of behavior. When in reality, like, no, now, okay, for me, I have no control over that person's behavior. None whatsoever. Can't do anything about it. I have to go within and say, okay, what are my boundaries and how do I proceed while enforcing my boundaries and maintaining a relationship with somebody else, while also upholding my boundaries and not allowing them to continue to treat me that way. Because I think a lot of people, well, why can't you just change your behavior? This is like, Jake, I love you. You're a liar. So I know when you say something that sounds a little loud of left, it's probably a lie. And so I'm going to call you on it and find out if it's a lie or not. And then we can move forward. But I don't get mad at you for lying to me anymore. I mean, unless it's like serious situations, you know what I mean? But even in the situation that happened last year, I also came from a place of compassion and understanding because you were hurting too. You know what I mean? Like, it was a hard time. But I think people right now in today's society, one, start giving a fuck about other people. Start caring that there are multiple genocides happening in the world. Multiple, not just one. Start caring that don't listen to music by an artist that's a pedophile. I don't know. I don't think that's hard.
It's hard. It is hard.
I have Chris Brown blocked on my iPod or on my Spotify. I have R. Kelly blocked. I have Drake blocked. I have Nicki Minaj blocked because she's married to one and upholds that, rapist mentality. Like, give a shit about other people while also working on yourself and focusing on you and how you can become a better person, and a better person that does the right thing simply because it's the right thing to do, not because it's expected of you or because somebody, you're going to gain something out of it.
I still don't eat at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, but you eat at McDonald's.
I eat so little of the food.
You're still funding it. Having the app on your phone still generates money for them.
I gotta delete the app.
You gotta delete the app.
You never told me this before.
I sent you a TikTok about it.
You send me so many TikToks.
I actually have not been lately because my TikTok algorithm has been fucked.
It's weird now?
Bad.
About what?
I was getting like super conservative content, tons of ads, like kids dancing. I don't like to support mommy bloggers or like family accounts because I don't think we should be putting our children out there like that. There are too many creeps. We know too much now. There are going to be lawsuits coming. There's actually a Netflix special coming out about a mommy blogger who returned her adopted child because they were autistic. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that. Anyway, it was a lot of that. And it really ruined my day.
You can do that?
I mean, I was having a bad day already, and I couldn't just mindlessly scroll through TikTok and see the hilarious FYP that I have curated in the algorithm because I'm fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
You know?
Now they're giving you mommy bloggers.
Yeah.
Who probably work
Or
for
ads.
Satan.
I just started reporting them. What I had to go do is on my search, they give you that like suggested searches, you know, like what's trending. And I had to give feedback that was completely inaccurate to what my algorithm was.
Good
and
for
then
you.
it went right back.
You stood up to the algorithm.
I'll do it.
You put your finger in
TikTok's
the algorithm's face.
TikTok is the one app that I do not have hair stuff on. I do have a hair page on TikTok, but I have a separate personal account that I like. If I see my hair friends who are like kind of big influencers, they come up on my FYP, I'm not interested. Not interested in
because you have to draw that line professionally so hard.
I love that.
Yeah, because it's the one escape that I have. Like I love supporting my friends. I love all of that, but like I need a break sometimes. Like shit.
Yeah, and I didn't even like think about it in that way that you can just block it.
Oh, I'm a heavy blocker.
Yeah, well, but that makes sense.
I block anybody that's annoying me. I block celebrities because I don't go on TikTok to see celebrities. I go on TikTok to see that hilarious lesbian who does farming videos. You know what I mean? Like funny stuff, educational things that help me discover more about myself. I don't want to see a fucking celebrity make me feel bad about myself again. I'm a blocker. I block people so fast.
Yeah.
And on everything. I had to block somebody I block people on Venmo all the time, but Snapchat, Venmo.
What's going on with Venmo?
What's going on how could that be?
You never had somebody send you like $1 to try to get you to talk to them?
No.
Well.
Oh, I need to step my pussy up.
I know.
Nobody has ever sent me $1.
What's your picture?
$1?
What's your? How do they even get
my
Venmo?
DMs are worth at least $3.
Because it's just my name. I mean, you search my name and then you can pull, you know what I mean? Or if I'm in your contacts, it'll pull up on there. So
and they think they'll send you $1 and you'll be like, what's up, daddy?
So I can unblock them, yeah.
Because they blocked you. You blocked them on something else?
Oh, everything.
So they sent you $1 on Venmo.
First, we block the phone number.
That is so weird.
First, we're blocking the phone number. Then we're going to Facebook and blocking you on Facebook. Then Instagram. Then TikTok, Snapchat, Venmo, Cash App.
Wow.
You blocked a dude on Cash App?
Probably.
Because he was trying to get you.
Probably.
And you said, nope. That's a new one to me.
Yeah.
No, no. I got no contact.
That's scorched earth.
As I told my ex, I said, you get one opportunity.
Look, if the boat is sinking, you have to plug all the holes.
Here's the thing. If I walk out that door, you don't get a second chance. Ever. Not happening. Not ever.
Not
never,
on
never,
Venmo.
Never. Nothing.
Not on Western Union.
Nothing.
I don't want to see you
Your
on
only
MoneyGram.
option is to pull up at my home, and then I'm going to call the cops.
If I find you on my Zelle...
See,
if I find you on my Zelle,
because I don't have Zelle, I just have it through my banking app. So but if I have their phone number blocked, is Zelle going to work? You know what I mean? I don't know. I haven't had that one yet, but I will go a hard no contact.
So what is the feedback we should be giving the young gentleman about this issue?
Mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Leave people alone. Leave women alone. If they don't like you, leave them alone. You're not going to convince them to
move on.
You. Yeah.
And then in moving on, what might they be able to improve?
Just actually don't speak to us. That would make us so much happier.
But what if they kind of need some feminine validation for their own process?
Go to therapy.
But what about pursuing a romantic endeavor? Are we done with those?
That validation on another person?
No. But I'm saying if part of their goal in life is to develop a romantic relationship with another,
go to therapy first. Work on your own shit.
Therapy first.
Get your shit together before you bring somebody else into it. And also, don't be selfish. I mean, I can't think of the number of times that I've been dating somebody and they fall in love with me, right? Like, they're like, oh my God, she's a whatever. And then they like get to know the real me, not the person that I am just like socially or, whatever, like on an intimate level. And I'm fucking weird. I don't know. I mean, you guys know that.
Yeah.
You know that. I'm sure you've gathered.
Now that you mention it, I have thought that.
But like, you know what I mean? Like I'm on this, I'm definitely neurodivergent. So like there is that element of like weirdness and it's like, they're like, oh, but not that way. I don't like you being like that way, that weird. Like we want the
policing of personality.
Exactly. And trying to kind of make me conform to what they want me to be. And it's like, no, I mean, I have 2 exes. One is deceased. One is my most recent ex that they didn't put that expectation on me. And they just allowed me to be who I am and they loved me for it. And I know that they loved me for it. You know what I mean? So like, just don't, it's so much easier to not have expectations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, like there's a bare minimum here. Like you say hello, you're polite, you're kind. You you stop touching someone when they say don't do that or no. You know what I mean? All the basic things.
You would think.
One would think.
One might think.
I had far too many grown men fiending after me as a minor. That was weird. Ellie and I were just talking about that. But I don't know how to say because again, I don't have time for the bullshit anymore. I don't want to like get to know each other and go out to the bars and whatever. And like, I just want to smoke weed, watch TV, and hang out with my dog and garden. If you have cool shit to add to that, add it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, like I think dating sober is different than not dating sober.
That's also true. I mean, and it's obviously not traditional in the long term that you went out and got drunk and met somebody and started a family with that person. That's not how it happened.
No, I think it did a lot. I mean, were they successful marriages down the line? Maybe not.
No, but I mean, before we had bars. Or
societal?
Society. I mean,
No, that was by your family. Your family chose for you.
Right.
Yeah, or it was based on your status in society.
Yeah, in your geological vague area.
No, well, I mean, it depends. It's like
geographical,
royalty.
not geological. Geographical. Geological would mean rocks. What kind of rocks you got? That's what love used to be. I like your rocks.
I could tell you about all my rocks.
What kind of rocks you got?
You forget
I get so upset when there's that guy from Kill Tony that his thing is that he likes rocks. I'm like, dude, I've known bitches to be liking rocks.
I don't know what Kill Tony is.
Oh, there's a guy on this other podcast that he.
Oh, it's a white man podcast. Another white.
Yeah,
man
but
podcast?
this is a black guy that says he likes rocks.
Okay.
And I've been like,
men.
I have lady friends that have been about rocks.
I charge my tarot deck with moonstone and clear quartz.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
This is what I'm saying. I'm about some shit.
No, I think people more naturally are gravitating towards meeting in real life or through friends again in even social media or dating apps. I mean, I'm on an app currently and it's fucking pathetic.
You're on Raya.
No, Hinge.
Oh, I thought you were going to be on.
But I don't have my setting to St. Louis.
Raya.
I have my setting in another city.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. My soulmate is not from St. Louis. I already know this. My psychic told me.
Yeah.
Miami.
He's on the West Coast.
Oh, West Coast.
Yeah.
You using the VPN for that?
No, you can on Hinge. You can set your
shit
wherever. Yeah,
nice.
I haven't tried other apps. Tinder's more my speed. I don't know. Maybe that's because I started with and I was used to it. But like, I don't know. Men on Hinge, I'm very much forward about my political leanings, and that I don't want to date outside of my political leanings. I'm tired of teaching people just to be good people. You know what I mean? Like, be a nice person, care about other people. And men will still try in their answers to it to like convince me otherwise. And I'm like, do you really think this is going to make me want to match with you? Like, you really think I'm going to be like, oh, wow, he's so smart. Yeah. Change my mind.
I haven't thought about it like
I've
that.
never thought about it like that before.
I do
Fuck
belong
you.
in the kitchen.
I'm a Virgo rising. I've thought about everything 20 times.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Did you say that in your profile too?
No, I should.
Yeah, I think you should include that.
I should.
Guys, thanks again for checking out Jacob V Weekly. Check out Sheer Hair on Instagram for any of your styling or astrological needs. I'm at Doorstop Studio, doorstop-studio.square.site. If you have any production needs, this is the spot. This is where I do it. I can't be doing all this myself all the time.
It's a vibe, for sure.
It's so much nicer than me having to sweat over everything the entire time. That shake I buy for $100 an ounce.
Feels like gummies.
It's not gummies.
Do your outro.
Yeah. And patreon.com/JacobV, JacobV.com, Caddyshack, IL.org, Save a Life for 9.
Damn fine hand pies.
Damn Fine Hand Pies, not a sponsor, but we love them. Up Late STL, not a sponsor. They don't know about us, but we like them. I had Lion's Choice today, and they still, but I did cash in some of my points. I got $10 off today.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a sponsor. They gave me 10 of my dollars back.
Yeah.
So,
great.
Anything else?
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight. Work on yourself. Therapy first.
Yes.
You got to be in the dojo.
Don't be afraid of therapy.
You need to be at home with ethically sourced pornography and your therapist before you're ever ready to get that dick out there on the street.
Facts.
I'm just saying, for your sake, you're going to save yourself a lot of frustration and a lot of calories and vodka Red Bulls you don't need. Stay at home in the dojo, have a prime, have some nice, ethically sourced, consensual union, preferably pornography. Then see your therapist, and after 6 or 7 years, when you're done with all your reparenting, you can come out in your late 20s on the streets.
Yep.
I think it's the only, if you want to be healthy.
I think we hit all the points. No, I think that was on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I love you.
Love you.
Good night.